So when it comes to women's safety, Meg, is this truth or trap? You should trust your intuition.
Both.
Okay.
It is, as you know, I have spent more time on TikTok than any person who loves themselves should. I have attended more personal safety seminars, taught from very patriarchal perspectives. And I have heard this statement in so many different ways. Trust your intuition. So the reality is that when I approached this book, my understanding of intuition was not nearly as deep as it is after I did a bunch of research. And what a lot of the evidence shows is that what we call intuition is basically people with a lot of experience making quick decisions based on their experience.
Hmm.
So, an example of one of these studies is a group of researchers gave a pile of resumes to experienced HR hiring managers and the same pile of resumes to a group of college students that had never made a hiring decision. And the HR managers, quote unquote, intuitively picked good candidates very quickly with minimal time spent scanning each resume.
Hmm.
And the college students, didn't move as fast and did not pick good candidates. So, what is actually happening in that study and in several other studies of intuition is that folks are learning from experience and making decisions quicker. Um, the problem with intuition when it comes to personal safety is that it is only useful to us if our inputs are factual. So,
Great point.
somebody came up to me at a book event that I did over the summer, and she said, "You know what? I feel really badly about this. I feel really guilty, but I always keep my doors locked whenever my husband travels. And I know most violence is perpetrated by people I know, but I still do this. I know it's wrong." And I said, like, okay, stop blaming yourself.
Hmm.
Um, if you had been given wrong information about what plants were edible for your whole life, and
Hmm.
then you got sick, that's not your fault. That's just you trying to figure out a new situation based on wrong information. When it comes to personal safety, the bigger problem with intuition is it becomes a a venue or a source for victim blame. So
Mm.
it's not trust your intuition, that's a good idea. It's if you didn't trust your intuition and you got attacked, you're wrong. And we see this, I know people have many good things to say about best-selling books like Gavin de Becker's The Gift of Fear.
Hmm.
But my biggest concern about it is that there are so many stories that he tells readers, and the point of the story is she didn't trust her intuition, and this bad thing happened to her.
Once
And
again, blaming the woman,
yeah.
right?
And what you don't get is the systemic inequity and all of the socialization that so many of us get
Hmm.
to dismiss our internal experience and please others. Um,
Absolutely. I mean, we
so,
see that in domestic abuse situations,
yeah,
right? No, don't want to rock the boat. I see
right.
this hurt women in the divorce process. So it is
Yeah. But on
absolutely.
the other side, if what you mean by intuition is your understanding that something is not right and your sort of gut level concern that a situation is harmful, even if you
Hmm.
can't perfectly articulate why, then please trust it and please voice it. The key, one of my colleagues who I interviewed for the book, Alina Scheim, who is the executive director of the Impact program in New Mexico,
Mm.
put it very well. She said, can you match your internal experience with the external reality?
Mm.
So if my internal experience is churning in my gut, racing in my heart, And the external reality is a male colleague who is higher up on the org chart put his hand on my back and called me cutie. Then the internal and the external experience match.
Mm-hmm.
However, too often, particularly with white women and with other folks that have some privilege, the internal experience may be that same churning and that same heart racing. And the external reality is a Black man over 6 foot tall got in the elevator.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we mistake racial bias for intuition, we create harm for people of color.